and welcome to Hard Copy from our channel's television studios in Abuja. I'm Kayla Magwa. As elections draw nearer, President Bola Tinubu has the arduous task of convincing the Nigerian people that he has done well in the past 4 years and will do even better in the next 4 years if they give him the mandate to serve again. One section of our polity that may have a hard time believing him is the business community, particularly micro, small, and medium enterprises, MSMEs. MSMEs in Nigeria are the backbone of our economy, accounting for over 96% of businesses and contributing nearly half of the national GDP. Nigeria's MSMEs have an estimated financing gap of $32.2 billion. That's about 13 trillion naira, limiting their ability to expand, purchase equipment, or manage working capital. Other challenges include limited infrastructure, regulatory hurdles, and reliance on informal funding sources. Then there's poor power supply, causing a reliance on petrol or diesel, which takes up most of the money they make, and insecurity, which pushes businesses to cluster in urban cities, reducing their ability to meet local challenges. And then there's just general uncertainty in that space. Between 2023 and 2024, approximately 7.2 million businesses have shut down in Nigeria, a significant number given the country's estimated 24 million micro, small, and medium enterprises. The NESG report highlights that 30% of Nigeria's 24 million MSMEs have ceased operations during this period, and this underscores the country's economic vulnerability. While the establishment of the 200 billion naira intervention fund aimed at supporting MSMEs and manufacturers has been a significant step towards enhancing competitiveness and addressing structural challenges, the removal of fuel subsidies and the devaluation of the Naira have led to increased inflation and economic challenges. But the Tinubu economic machine says they are cooking. Do we believe them? Listen what they have to say. Special advisor to the president on MSMEs and job creation, Tola Adekunle Johnson, joins us tonight on Hard Copy. Mr. Johnson, welcome to Hard Copy.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start with the figures. The number of businesses that have shut down since the economic policies of President Bola Tinubu. Do you have those figures personally? And do you agree with the NESG that there are a lot of jobs shutting down and leaving the country as a result of these economic policies of the president?
Yeah, what the NESG has done is to look into businesses that have physical structures on ground. How many of them are shutting down? How many of them are no longer running businesses physically, like having like a business address, you know? And the fact that I do not have a business address now, or the fact that I do not have, say, for instance, meet me at number 2 Kumasi Street, we'll say 2, that's where you know, does not mean that I've not migrated online to continue my business. It might be, see, if you realize that as a result of COVID-19, a lot of businesses all over the world found smarter and cheaper ways to run their businesses, whilst not disputing what NESG has said in total. But I'm just saying that it is not that you have 12 million businesses that have suddenly just stopped running their businesses.
It's possible that they've migrated online.
So we have seen evidence of businesses. We know we are in touch with SMEs, that we know their physical places of operations, and we reach out to them. They are no longer in those places, but we see them still operating. They are still operating online. They've migrated, you know. Maybe they've seen that they might have to downsize one way or the other. You know, the cost of rent might have gone up, and they've seen that, you know what, I can operate this business without having a physical...
Using data is a little cheaper than building structures and paying workers.
And with time, as things pick up, I go back to having a physical. So some people have decided to take those decisions, you know, and it still does not run away from the fact that a lot has to be done. But I must also quickly tell you that a lot is being done.
So let's talk about this economic, because the economic team of President Bola Tinubu is a big machinery of which you are part of. You are focused really on micro, small, and medium enterprises. What's In what direction is this economic team moving? What's the plan? What's the end game of the Tinubu economic machinery?
Okay. So, with regards to small businesses, because you must understand that there is no time that the president has not reiterated that small businesses are a key part or aspect of his administration. Whatever it is that the president wants to achieve within 4 years, initial 4 years, maybe the next 4 years, SMEs are a key priority. And you can see what the DG Pebek is doing, running around from pillar to post across the country, ensuring that we're laying a good she's ensuring that whatever it is that was the foundation that was laid by the current Minister of Trade, Dr. Jumoke Dewole, she wants to build on it. Gone are the days where you see running businesses in Nigeria or anywhere in the world goes beyond just funding. There were hiccups, or there are hiccups such as not being able to register a business within a few hours. That is a thing of the past now. With CAC, you cannot register your business seamlessly. Basically, you with the likes of Nexim, NEPC, they handhold you to help you get a market to export your product outside the country. So, as a small business owner who is new, and you do not have access to the data of those that you can export to, when you go to any of those agencies, they not just show you the way, they help you end to end to ensure that, number one, you are properly treated, basically. And between 2023 and this 2026, the Bank of Industry, especially last year, the Bank of Industry alone disbursed well over close to 600 billion naira to small businesses, MSMEs, at single digits of 9%, with moratorium of a year, and in some cases 5 years. The Development Bank of Nigeria, DBN, here it is, they disbursed 1.1 trillion between that 2023 to this time. 1.1 trillion. In the 1.1 trillion, women-owned businesses got about 293 billion. Youth-owned businesses got about 135 billion. Whilst the general public, like male-owned businesses, got about close to about 700 and something billion. Cumulatively, that led to about that led to about almost 1.3 million businesses that they disbursed to within 2023 and 2026. The Bank of Industry, only of recent, about two weeks ago, got an approval from of an additional $200 million from the AFDB. So that again is going to go into the push for small to support small businesses. So a lot is being done. A lot is being done to ensure that SMEs have this access to funding. Now we can speak and speculate about the rates, not like the rates we have in maybe like Seychelles and the rest of the other African countries. We can speak about that. But in that regard, don't forget we introduced something called the de-risking fund with state governments. And I assure you, a lot of the state governments are involved now. They partner with the likes of the Bank of Industry. They partner with the likes of commercial banks, who are our partners in the MSME clinics. So a state guarantees a certain fund from a state. The commercial bank partner, meets the states halfway. Like what Lagos did. Lagos brought 10 billion. A commercial bank brought 10 billion. Now, that money will be disbursed to SMEs in Lagos at no more than 9%. So because we have said to the states that whilst the federal government is doing what it can do to support the space, it is very important and pertinent for the states to also not drop the ball. So a lot of state governors, you see, give it by the end of this year, this will become one of the biggest things across the different states. A lot of state governors are now in partnership with commercial banks and with the DFIDs, like the likes of the Bank of Industry and others, to have partner funds, partner funds, so that you can reduce the hardship of small business owners in their states. I've seen states that are done initial 2 billion, and they had waited about 6 months to see how 3 billion to see how the program was going, and have committed further. Like a state like Katsina State, the DG. I know that the Ogun State governor, the Imo State governor, and a few other governors, a lot of the governors are having such discussions, and they know of the urgency. They know that it is very important and very urgent to expedite these actions and ensure that small businesses, because the small businesses, they operate in Nigeria. That's looking at it from the larger point of view, but they are domiciled in states. So it's very important for the state governments to be involved, and they are involved.
I want to ask you honestly, do you think that MSMEs are thriving under the Tinubu administration?
Yes, I think so. And I think so because I'm not just an aide that sits in the office and come to channels or any TV station and grants an interview and go back to the office. I'm on the field a lot.
You've always been a field
Yeah, so I'm on the field a lot, and I'm on the field not in some section of the country. I'm on the field when it comes to SMEs across the entire country. Feel the pulse of what's going on. We have a secretariat that people call to let us know this is what is going on in our states. These are the areas where we need help. Can you people help us and speak to our governor, things like that. So why I said that yes is that I know we have tried under this government to make the access to funding easier for the small businesses. I assure you, we as a government are constantly on the necks of the likes of Bank of Industry, on the necks of Nexim Bank, DBN, those that we can, push out these funds as they come in. Some of them go out to go and source for their funding, but we try to ensure that those fundings that you have gone to go and source from any part of the world for small businesses, go to those small businesses and as quickly as possible. But don't forget that business and business environment is a two-way street. I play my part as the business regulator. The SMEs too must play their parts. As an SME, you must understand that for you to collect a 150 million naira facility from a bank, be it a commercial bank, be it government DFID, your business will probably have been valued at maybe close to 450 million, because it's simple mathematics now.
How many businesses have that kind of money?
Yeah, but you are going to scale on your own level. If you want to collect, if your business is worth 10 million naira, there's nothing wrong in starting small. I started from the rock bottom, and with diligence and being very, with diligence and steadfastness, you can grow. So I know businesses, I tell you, and I don't know if it's on this station or what station, I know businesses that in 2015, 2016, we helped facilitate loans of 2 million naira. These same businesses last year, 2025, we're asking for facilities of close to 1 billion. That's growth. That's being diligent at what you're doing. That's growth. No other definition from it. That's absolute growth. In that, I've seen businesses that know exactly what they are chasing and they are focused. You see, things will happen. All over the world, things will happen. Things will happen that will obstruct whatever it is that you're doing, but you must be focused on what you're doing. You as a business owner, you cannot spend your profits and your loss, and you think that because do you know there are a lot of businesses that don't even know what is profit, what is loss. Okay. Money comes in, bam, they spend.
Right. We have to go on a short break.
Thank you.
When we come back, Nigeria's business environment, job creation, and how you started will be our focus. So please stay with us on Hard Copy. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Hard Copy. If you just joined us, Mr. Tola Johnson, the Special Advisor to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on MSME and job creation, joins us tonight. And we're talking about the economy. and why the Nigerian people should believe that the economic machinery of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is working. Thanks again for being with us on the program. The president has gotten the ticket of the All Progressives Congress, so he's on the ballot.
Expectedly so. Expectedly so. And
yes.
Let me see this opportunity to congratulate Mr. President, my boss. I mean, we expected it. If any other thing would have been a shocker. So, I mean, that the president got the ticket, to me, is not breaking news. Well, the breaking news will have been if Osifo had defeated the president.
That would have been really breaking news.
Yes.
It will still be breaking, even as we're speaking.
Exactly.
Because we'll be examining all the ways that happened. In any case, he has to contend with the Nigerian people, who have very loudly said that our quality of life has diminished and businesses are crumbling. Many businesses are crying out. You know, when we hear the figures from the economic machinery of the president, they keep talking about reduced inflation, they keep talking about money's being disbursed. You have so many testimonies. We won't have enough time to talk about all the people who have benefited. In fact, I think there's someone that you even gave, that you facilitated some kind of loan fund. The person's in the House of Reps right now.
Yes.
So there's so many people. And like I said earlier, you've been doing this for a very long time, since the Buhari administration.
Yes.
Working with our present Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment.
Exactly.
At the time, I think she was DG Pebek.
No, she was Special Advisor Pebek.
Yes.
She started as an SSA. Promoted to Special Advisor.
Because I remember then it was Madam how to make business better in Nigeria. That was the entire conversation. But you see, when we hear the figures from the economic team, it doesn't correlate with the Nigerian people. The Nigerian people still feel like food is very expensive. They are looking at, while you're calling out inflation figures, all that they know is that something that was 100 Naira moved to 150, now it's 200. It's almost like every week the price of food goes up. Price of basic things, rent is unbelievable, especially here in the FCT. So in what ways can the people of Nigeria look at the economic team of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and trust that we can give you another 4 years? Are things going to continue to increase like this for another 4 years? What are you doing to make sure that I am not a victim of your policies?
You and I are sitting here because we understand the inflation, and then we understand how things increase. Now, when you buy a loaf of bread, say 500 Naira today, and you go back next week and it's 600 Naira, it has increased. So that's straight up inflation. Now, if a government official comes to tell you that inflation is reducing, what the average Nigerian expects is that it goes back
and the price will drop.
No, to 500, right?
Yes.
So, but what will happen is that instead of going back to go and get that thing from 600, instead of it to have increased to like 650 or 700, you probably meet it as maybe 620. Do you understand? So it is the rate of, it is how quickly it increases, the tempo, has it reduced or not? Even from the new tax laws that has been established, the new tax law favors the small business a lot. Now as a business owner, you know what you are paying. In the past, somebody will just generate something and tell you that this is what you are paying. And when you fall into a certain bracket, you know that you will not pay a certain tax. So, you know, all these things that are being put in place is, we've had, you know, the rot in the system has been, it's not been, it didn't start today. The rot in the system, it's been for years. So we should even I commend the president for his boldness. Because don't forget that it takes a man who is bold to actually make some of these reforms and still be able to get a ticket to go for a second tenure. That aside, I know that now BOI have even sorted out different loans for women owners, women and business owners. Same as even the likes of Wema Bank, who are our partners. You see, even the commercial banks are working with us on this. The likes of Wema Bank, the likes of Access Bank, they now give out funding to women businesses and at reduced rates. Once you are able to prove and meet certain criteria. So it's a very easy criteria. You have your facility. Things are where they ought to be.
They're not where they ought to be.
Yes, things are where they ought to be. And we never pretend about that. Because if Mr. President does not pretend about that, then I'm an aide. I can't be pretending about that. Things are not where they ought to be. But are we moving towards shaping things towards where they should be? Yes. I'll say yes because I know I'm very committed to this space. You know, we have this normal annual MSME awards.
Yes.
This year, if you know the number of people that have put in for the awards, the number of applicants, it's mind-boggling. So it means that they are trusting something. Is it that they just have faith, or they seem to say, you know what, the body language of Mr. President and his team, let's give them a chance. Because you can put out, it's like theater. You act a movie. You need an audience. If without an audience, you go on the stage, you are dancing by yourself.
You're a madman.
You are seen as a mad person. So I think there's a certain level of trust because people can relate with me. I was a business owner. I was a small business owner. And say, okay, how do we now create jobs along clusters for SMEs? We have commissioned 18. There are like 3, 4 waiting for commissioning. And do you know what? Do the maths. Because for every place we say we have commissioned, we have the facilities so people can go and fact check us. Those facilities have led to at least 635,000 jobs created across the country. They have been created in Imo State, Ogun State. Do you know what? We established something called a mechanic city. It's the first of its kind in this country. A mechanic city is massive. We'll take it to one of the states that it was established. In 2023, we went to Ogun State, refurbished a whole Adire market. Our partners did that, a whole Adire market. And the president said, you know what, let these guys have this market for free for 1 year. The next year, the governor, on his own, to decide that they were going to pay for them. We're delving into spaces that people will just leave. After all, there's no budget for it. You know what? We'll wait until there's budget. No. We are seeing a problem. And if there's a natural way of solving that problem and it's not available to us, we'll look for another way of solving that problem. My story is very simple. I was a business owner in Lagos. Business owner in Lagos, from Lagos State, it's a Afaji local government area. But when I used to grow up, I used to go and meet my grandfather, he was the head of meat sellers in Itafaji. And I used to go there to go and sit with him. Sometimes I'll follow him to go and see him cutting his meat and all these things, so babeleron stuff. And I think from that age, because I used to see my grandfather count money. He used to count money a lot. And he used to count a lot of money to the house. So I just said to myself that when I grow up, I will be a business owner. I didn't know if I wanted to be a meat.
But I wanted to
be counting money. And fast forward to many years later, started running my own small business. At first I started with a shawarma stand, but I realized that shawarma was all over the place. So if I set up shawarma here, there are like 10 of us. And in business, when you have that, so do you understand what I'm saying? So everybody's selling shawarma. So I now decided that, you know what, there are clubs, there are churches, there are mosques. I decided to go and meet all the leaders there and just sign like an unofficial MOU. I'll come and do my shawarma on your busy days and I'll give your leaders some free. Just allow me to. So I set up a template where every Sunday I was making money. Every Friday I was making money. So basically speaking, that's where I got to know, and that's why I started doing things. And because I'm son of a retired military man, my father knew President Buhari. So when they wanted to contest, somehow we got in touch, and somehow I started working. I worked for them unofficially, and introduced me to the Vice President Oshibajo, and the rest is history. The rest is history. So I benefited from the system. I collected facilities from even when one of the facilities that was set up by the federal government, I was one of the beneficiaries. I was supposed to pay in 5 years. I paid in 3 years, 2 months. So basically speaking, once you're a focused person, you know, whilst the country and the nation, we cannot pretend that the business environment is at 100% where it should be. It is not. But are we committed to getting it closer to that place? Yes, we are. We began a journey in 2023, about 3 years ago. And for the real business owners, I believe you have seen some significant impacts, basically. We are on track to not just improve those impacts, to also bring on board certain things. We want to ensure from 2027 that access to funding at single digits becomes a norm. It's not just something we talk about. Across different states, that you can hold the government to. That is one of our major priorities for next year. And only a few months ago, Mr. President approved another 100 billion naira to stimulate the economy that will be going to the Bank of Industry. So the man is genuinely concerned about businesses. And just to let you know that we are going to unhold you with your business and ensure that you survive in whatever it is that's your business that you're doing. And that's just the part we can, and that's the commitment we will make. Because I'm coming from the business space as well. I'm coming from the nano business space, nano to micro, to MSMEs, then to SME, basically. And with the grace to be here speaking to you as an advisor to the president or two different presidents. I
have to thank you so much, Mr. Tola Johnson, for being with us on Hard Copy. I know there's some award coming up soon. Yeah. What date is it?
It's June 27th. The MSME award is the World MSME Day, as declared by the United Nations. June 27th.
June 27th.
At the Bank.
So are people still registering or?
No. The registration is closed, but people are getting the categories this year. We're giving funding, grants, money. I'll employ you to come.
All right. All right. So June 27th.
Yes.
The MSME Awards. Yes. We'll be watching to see how that works out.
Thank you.
But thank you very much, Mr. Tola Johnson, for being with us on Hard Copy, and good luck with all the work I know you have ahead of you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you.
That's Hard Copy this week. I'm Kayla Magua. Good night.